Kenyans can shed? Is it wrong with connecting with where you're from? And at what point is it dangerous?
We are who we are. But we are Kenyans. Your tribe, you cannot shake it away. It's part of you. But it doesn't define you because you're a Kenyan. I think it is the leadership that has the word tribe in their mouth. In the last elections, Ruto is not a Kikuyu. He's not from Mount Kenya. The mountain gave him a lot of votes. The balance, almost in bulk, went to the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga. We had Kikuyu candidates like Mwaura Wahiga. He got very little. The two people who got votes throughout Kenya were Right Honorable Raila Odinga and Dr. William Ruto. Do they come from all the parts of Kenya where they got? The last elections was a defining moment to show Kenya has moved beyond the tribe. Do not return tribalism while pretending to fight it. Dr. William Ruto is the one I'm addressing. He's the one who comes so much telling people about tribalism while practicing it himself. So you will not be able to capitalize on tribe this time. Our young people have shed off that tag and they are the majority. If you see how the Gen Z organized, if you see how they are organizing, even the hashtag We Are All Kikuyu didn't mean that they were elevating Kikuyu above others. They're saying, do not oppress any of us.
Yes.
If it's a Kikuyu today, then we are all Kikuyus. If it's a Kisii tomorrow, we are all Kisis. If it's a Kipsigis, then we are all Kipsigis. You know? It's just emphasizing our oneness. So let Dr. William Ruto and any other politician who hopes to capitalize on tribalism know that Kenyans
culture that we belong to are things that are recognized by the Constitution. We belong somewhere. And it is using that as a political tool,
negatively,
does not make any sense. But even while at that, we look at a situation where the Gen Zs right now, we are all Kenyans, you know, and one would hope that moving forward, the political elite stop using the tribalism as a way to get to power. And one would argue for a very long time, Raila Odinga has, if you want to get to power, just be on the other side of Raila Odinga. He's not there. Just his absence. How does that change the political chess game now?
In a very big way, because he had this hold on the people, on his supporters, unshakable hold. I don't think anybody can replicate Raila Odinga. We just have to accept that. And that's why I said there's going to be tremors in the political
space
arena. I cannot exactly predict what it's going to be, but nobody can become a Raila Odinga. That's just him. One in a million. So we have to find our balance. Everybody has to find their balance. Even those who are desperately invoking his name and even putting words in his mouth. Yet we have media tapes to show exactly what he said. They will not get far by that. People will find their balance. But what should be worrisome to us as Kenyans is that the ideals he cherished, which are the ideals in the Constitution, what we as Kenyans have fought for together and which we credit him with fighting for throughout his life, remain dear to us, and we defend it with all our might. That really is the greatest tribute.
So, as these, the doors open up we're getting into by-elections that come in November. And many have said that this is a litmus test as to what will happen in 2027, and then being able to come and fill a constitutional requirement with a by-election. But what it also does is that it holds up a mirror for what, or even maybe a magnifying glass for what will happen in 2027. Can we use that and say this is what's going to happen? Is it testing the ground as to where people's allegiances lie?
Yes and no. Take, for instance, the Banisa seat, where Dr. Ruto and his KK brigade have been enticing the candidates on the opposite side. The candidate for DCP stepped down after being spotted in State House. And we know State House is a place of money, whether he denies or not. But his Damascus moment comes when he's in State House and he drops off from the seat. We got a candidate who then also didn't present his papers and said for personal reasons. Those personal reasons are subject to guesswork.
This way in.
Are subject to guesswork, you know. So what is happening is that Dr. Ruto and his brigade are trying to ensure that they pass unopposed. Because when there is no candidate, you cannot measure what the voters want. It's the absence of competition that will get you there. He can do that in by-elections. He cannot be able to do that in a general election where there are more, there are thousands of candidates. So this is a litmus test in a way. If it is the united opposition, how we hold out in the seats we go to campaign for together, whether we are able to field single candidates. But on the other hand, it is not a litmus test where candidates are being enticed. So that can give the KK brigade false joy, but it will not happen. So there are two sides of it,
The house on the hill is seen as, one would argue, it seems like it's the central bank of Kenya nowadays. Everyone walks in and decisions are changed. But while at that, you look at the Banisa candidate and now everything surrounding him, as well as the candidate that you now say never presented their papers. And from the united opposition, then how would you handle these members in your team?
Once a member withdraws, they will just be scarce and not come back. Like ours, we just received a letter saying for personal reasons. I am sure that he will not be coming to the office soon or picking a phone call. Because he had started by not picking phone calls. So people don't go to say what made them do what they did. And even those known to receive money will always deny. You cannot be able to measure people's hearts. But there's always a commitment pledge people sign. It is not a guarantee. We're just saying that this happens in a by-election, it's unlikely to happen in general elections. You cannot do it on a massive scale at that time. So we will take time to look for candidates of character, but you never can be 100%.
Right. I did say that there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You may not know that yet. But then, Kenyans are looking for that opportunity when they'll be able to operate in a space whereby there is not a constant demand on leadership to stand by their rights. That Kenyans want a space whereby they can express themselves and not be shot, jailed, or disappeared. That they can wake up in the morning and go and do a decent day's work and get something for it, send their children to school, go to a medical facility, get treated with the promise and the action that comes from government. The very basic minimum is what Kenyans are asking for. And that responsibility is placed on the shoulders of those who are fighting for a better Kenya, you, Martha Karua, being one of them. How do you take that responsibility?
I am ready for it, because it's indeed a duty to my country a duty to myself to ensure that our country returns back to the rule of law and becomes truly our home, our castle, where we don't feel threatened, where you do not have to worry that your wallet is going to be raided by the government, not to serve you, but to enrich a few. You expect services, you pay taxes, and expect services. At my age, I'm back on the race, not because I want or I need a position. I've lived without any elected position for the last 13 years, and I'm fine. But I'm not fine with where our country is, where our children and grandchildren, and I keep saying my children and grandchildren are all the people of that age. We want to live a better Kenya, and we realize we have people who can help rebuild and restructure this country, and they are found in all ages. And we are looking for a partnership of people of goodwill, value-based leaders to help us reorganize our country, because nobody can do it alone. So I'm ready to be that team leader. And to be a good team leader, you also have to be ready to be led.
Indeed.
Because it's not only your ideas. When I moved the water sector reforms, I was not a water person, a hydrologist or something, or a water expert. But working with the human resources under me, we were able to push for the reforms. You are required to be able to put together the best human resources for the job and to give them room to show their best, not to micromanage.
Not to micromanage.
Yeah.
It is that the qualities of a leader is defined